Imagine this, life is this giant open world video game and all of us, you, me, we're all simply just players in the game. Now obviously the goal of the game is to win because number one, winning is awesome, and number two, winning is just a lot more fun than losing. So I thought in today's video I'll share my perspective as a huge fan of video games on how I'm gamifying, how I'm actually planning on building out my character to absolutely crush it at this game of life. Hey, what's up you guys, I'm Nerdy1 and this is a channel where I use video games to teach you life lessons. Now today's lesson is on building out your character for the game of life. Obviously as we proceed in life, there's going to be many obstacles that's going to stand in our way. However, only by overcoming these obstacles are we able to level up, be better, and actually proceed towards our goals in life. Now many people approach life without having the right goals, without planning things out, and obviously this is completely fine. However, if you really do want to win, to make the most out of your life, it is important that you start building your character properly, making sure that you're leveling up the right stats, the right attributes, getting the right skills, and that is what today's lesson is all about. So I absolutely cannot wait to get into this video today. So if you're excited to get started, don't forget to smash that like button and let's dive into this video. So to kick things off, you need to understand the three major resources that you have in life. Number one, your health pool or HP bar. Number two, your stamina. And number three, your magic points or your MP. Now everybody have all three of these stats, but depending on what we choose to level up, everybody's going to have different variations of how much of each that they have. Now I'm a big fan of Elden Ring. Of course, it's Game of the Year in 2022, no biggie. So I'm going to be using some of the clips to help describe to you what each of these components actually mean and how they actually relate to real life. So let's start off with the most important resource, which is going to be your health pool or your HP. Now the reason this is so important is because in video games, if you run out of HP, well, you lose, you die, am I right? So the very same thing applies to life as well. If you run out of health, well, then nothing else matters, right? It doesn't matter how successful you are, it doesn't matter how much money that you have. If you run out of health, if you don't take care of this first major resource, then nothing else matters. Now the reason that health is so important is because as you try to level up in life, as you tackle all the obstacles, you are constantly being battered and bruised, right? There's just so many things that's going against you and it's really difficult to proceed with life. As you continue to level up, as you continue to push your limits, your health is going to slowly dwindle. And you know, this is just part of the game. You have to do it. So you have to make sure that you manage this properly. You don't overdo it, that you run out of health, but you also have to make sure that you have enough health to endure what you're trying to accomplish. Just think about it in video game terms. You can have the best weapon, the best armor, the best skills, but if you get beaten up a few times and you lose all your health, well, nothing else really matters because now you can't proceed with the game anymore. Whereas if you have a lot of health, now you have a lot more opportunities to make mistakes, to actually go through the obstacles because you are able to endure a lot more. So making sure that you're leveling up the stats to increase this resource, whether it be physical health, mental health, emotional health, is extremely important to keep you competitive in the game of life. And here's resource number two. Stamina. Now you can think of stamina as your focus, your ability to do something for a long period of time. Now we only have a set amount of stamina, and as we work on something, this stamina is slowly being used, and when we run out, we have to rest, we have to recharge, and we aren't able to push anymore. However, the longer the stamina bar is, the longer we can do something, which means the more we can actually level up and the more that we can grow. Because understand this, life is actually quite repetitive. To get good at something, you have to do something again and again and again. But when you continue to do this again and again and again, you get a lot more efficient at it. Your stamina grows with it, your focus grows with it. So only by actually putting in the work to do so, you're able to actually increase your stamina bar. Now once you slowly get the hang of this, once you get your habits formed, now you can do this for longer periods of time to accomplish more, you know, to actually be able to tackle bigger problems because now you have a bigger stamina bar that you can use to expand on all the problems that you're going to be dealing in life. A great gaming example I want to use is the stamina bar in Elden Ring. Now everything you do in the game requires stamina, and often the bigger the weapon, the more powerful the swings, the more stamina you actually have to use. Now if you don't train your stamina, you're not going to be able to do all these options. So this is going to limit your potential to actually tackle all these problems, right? Because you're going to get tired very quickly, you're going to have to actually be a lot more defensive as you proceed with life. However, if you're able to actually hone it and get your stamina bar up high, now you can wield all the really powerful weapons. You can go ahead and make all the big bigger moves, and this is going to give you more potential to accelerate your growth, to actually be more consistent with how you progress in your daily challenges. The problem that most people encounter, however, is they get bored with the grind. They get bored doing something again and again. But you have to understand that if you want to increase your stamina, if you want to increase your focus, your concentration, you're going to have to actually force yourself to do something again and again until you're good at it. There is no other way around it, so make sure you get to it. Now lastly, let's get into resource number 3, your magic points or your mana. Now this is the most exciting of the bunch because it gives you the most potential for growth. Now you can think of your MP or your magic points as knowledge. Now this is what sets apart the really successful people versus just the mediocre people, because many people aren't willing to actually level up this specific stat. They're not willing to level up their MP. A lot of people go about life by simply leveling up their health and their stamina, and they just simply rely on the two. However, it is the magic points, the mana, that allows you to accomplish those really crazy feats, allows you to really accelerate your growth, that you should be taking advantage of. Now going back to the game Elden Ring, of course some people prefer to actually go about the game without actually using any mana, but that simply sets you at such a disadvantage, because throughout the whole video game there are so many cool skills, so many magic spells, so many things you can actually do to make your journey a lot easier and a lot fun without having to actually go through the grind. Now some people might like this, it's more fun to them to make it a lot more challenging, but remember, in the game of life your objective is to win, so you have to use all your resources, all the tricks that you have to actually accomplish your goal. So don't neglect mana. So make sure you're constantly studying, learning, expanding your mind to understand what exactly are the possibilities, how you can do things a lot more efficiently, how you can accelerate your growth versus just simply doing the easy things again and again. You have to use your mana, your magic points, your MP to actually capitalize and actually gain the momentum that you need to get to the next level. Now if you enjoyed the content up to this point, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm just a dude who really loves video games, and I find that using video games to actually teach life lessons can be something that is very interesting, more fun to follow, because I think video games are just such a great catalyst to make lessons a lot more exciting to learn. So if you found any value of sorts in this video, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more. I cannot wait to actually introduce much more video games as well as a lot more lessons as we proceed in this whole game of life. So a quick recap on the 3 major resources. We got your HP bar, your health pool. This is going to allow you to actually endure all the obstacles, endure all the hardships in life as you continue with the game. We got your stamina bar, which is going to be how you're focusing, how you're doing something again and again to actually put in the work so you can level up. And then we have your magic points, your MP, and this is what allows you to actually capitalize by actually learning, increasing your knowledge, so you can actually spot the opportunities as you proceed in this game of life. Now it is important to level up all 3 of these resources, because obviously the more that you level up these resources, the more potential, the more opportunities that you have in life as you proceed in this whole game. Because think about it, if you have more health, it means that you're able to endure more hardships, to be able to take on more challenges. If you have more stamina, then well, you're going to be able to work longer hours, to put in the work, to concentrate more than others, and this is obviously going to translate to you actually proceeding, you actually accelerating your growth. And if you increase your knowledge, your mana, now if you see an opportunity, now you're going to have the knowledge to take advantage of it, and many people actually don't do this, so you're going to be one of the few people who's actually able to capitalize when you see an opportunity in the horizon. Now here's where things get super fun, because life is an open world video game. Well, everybody's approach to all the obstacles, everyone's approach to life is going to be different. Now because life has so many different problems, different obstacles, there is going to need a lot of different solutions to it, which means you're going to need a lot of different skills that you can pick and choose. So depending on your strengths, your weaknesses, what you like, what you dislike, you have to pick a specific skill and actually use it and actually combine it with the 3 main resources on how you're actually going to level up these resources. So when you're choosing a skill to master, maybe you're someone who already knows exactly what they like, exactly what their strengths is, or maybe you're someone who are not sure what their skills are, you're not sure what to focus on. Well, this is how I want you to think about it. There are 3 main criteria when it comes to picking out your skill, picking out your path when you're proceeding with life. Number 1, your skill has to be something that you yourself like, you yourself find enjoyment in doing. Because if life was a game, the point of the game is to have fun, right? So if you pick a skill that you don't like doing, Well, it's going to be such a grind to train it. I'm not saying that you should never do it. Sometimes there are prerequisites that you're forced to actually accomplish it. But to start things off, to make things exciting, pick something that you really enjoy doing and really think, how can you actually grow and expand upon it? Now, for number 2, you have to make sure that the skill that you're learning, that ability that you're trying to pick up, is going to be able to bring value to other people. And the reason for this is because value means money. Now, money makes the world go around, obviously, right? But the trick isn't actually chasing the money. The trick is to win at playing the game, and then money comes as a byproduct, as a reward. So you have to make sure that the skill that you're trying to master actually is able to bring value to others, because when you start bringing value, people are going to be willing to pay you for that value. So this is a very, very important tip when you're picking on a skill to master. And as for criteria number 3, when you do pick a skill, you have to commit to learning it. Many people get scatterbrained and they're trying to focus on doing too many things at once, and they're going to be simply average of everything. Now, it is way, way better to be really, really good at one thing than to be mediocre at 10 things. So say if you want to really get good at coding, well, you have to make sure you dedicate to actually really, really learn how to code. You know, once you expend all your resources, when you really, really understand that this is not something for you, then you can maybe make the switch. However, make sure that you really push the limits, really explore all the options out there, really squeeze every little bit, because remember, we only have a set amount of time, and if you end up switching your skills all the time, trying to learn different things, you're going to run out of time and you're not actually going to be able to use those skills. So make sure you plan appropriately and actually capitalize on actually gaining the skills that you need to actually win the game. And now this is where everything comes together, because now you understand the 3 major resources and now you have a specialized skill. Now you simply have to combine them. You have to think about what do you need to actually master this skill, and you actually have to set goals so that you can expand on actually knowing how to make sure you keep your HP bar full, because you're going to have a lot of obstacles trying to actually master this skill. You have to have the stamina to actually proceed and do the work you need to actually improve the skill, and then you have to expand on the knowledge so that you know how to use your skills appropriately to actually expand your earnings, grow your career, whatever it is. You have to set specific goals, but this is how you build the framework to understand the 3 major resources on what everybody is trying to build, and then knowing what you are going to specialize in and really commit to that skill. So that's about it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some value watching this in terms of you building out your character for the game of life, on you accomplishing your goals. Remember, life is this giant game and all of us want to win, and I want you to win. And I'm hoping that by using video games, I can make all these lessons a little more exciting, a little more simple, a little easier to understand, because that is really the goal, right? Games are meant to be enjoyed, meant to be fun, and I want you to win, because winning is of course a lot of fun. So again, thank you again so much for watching, and if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel and check out more of my other videos where I use video games to explain more life lessons, and I will see you guys again in the very next one. Take care. Peace.